Welcome, guys, to this week's episode. I'm JC.
And of course, I'm Jay.
Let's review something. Today, we're going to review the newest adaptation of the Bond franchise, Spectre, starring Daniel Craig.
I got that right.
That's right. The man, the myth, the legend, the 00007 James Bond.
The heartthrob of heartthrobs, the original Heartbreak Kid.
This film takes us back to the old school Bond, from the Sean Connery era all the way to the keep your face in one pose while the world ends and you're getting shot at in the face by a bazooka full of pissed off beads and a guy with finger blades wants to give you a massage, the sweetest one, and you really have to pee really bad. The Pierce Brosnan man.
Literally, there are so many throwback moments in this film that make you feel like you're experiencing more than one. Not only one, more than one. Bond, bombarding, blazing barrels of Bondness.
Guys, today we're going to do something a little bit different. Why? Because Jay and I, for the first time, do not agree on whether this movie was really good or really bad. So, with that being said, Jay,
it's time for
Spitfire Reviews!
Alright guys, now what we're going to do here is JC's going to go, then I'm going to go, then JC's going to go. We're going to go back and forth a little bit. Let's do this.
That's right, guys. So I'm going to take it first, and we're going to first talk about the points that we like about the movie, the things that were good about the movie, and then we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of it all.
Yeah.
Alright, so, guys, there was good cinematography. The cinematography was pretty good. The color grading was pretty good. What that means is that the colors that they actually put on the film were pretty okay. With that being said, there was a cool scene at the beginning where they had one camera shot that was really long and it was actually really cool and we enjoyed it. Also, I want to mention the fight sequence, the action sequences. They were pretty good as well. I would say that they ranked with the top Bond films. And of course, last but not least, the suits were on point.
Now, rounding that out, we also have to give thanks to the car makers. Again, you already know, James Bond's always bring the most electric, beautiful vehicles in the market. And again, he does not disappoint. Now again, yes, I do agree with JC, the action scenes were on point. The sequences were great. Now the dialogue was pretty decent, but we'll get into more of that shortly.
Alright guys, well that was the good stuff about the movie. Now we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of the nitty-gritty of the nitty-gritty.
Here.
That's right guys. Now, personally, me, I went to the cinema expecting something spectacular. Get it? Spectre? That's right. So I expected something awesome. It's rumored to be the last Daniel Craig Bond film. I mean, I expected something incredible. What I felt that I got was actually something very recycled, something not brand new at all. I felt that the fact that they wanted to touch on pretty much the old school thug that just doesn't say a word but one in the movie. Okay, fine. I understand what you were trying to do there. I understand that you wanted to touch on an ode to the old school and put things in there that were symbolically part of the old school and the tradition of Bond. But with that being said, I was expecting a new film. I was expecting something incredible. And what I got was a slow-paced, really non-remarkable action in between the beginning and the end, just like a Bond film, and a very, very slow story development. There were also gigantic holes in that script, guys.
With that being said, I'm gonna go back and say it this way. The movie was perfectly set up. If this is rumored to be Daniel Craig's last flick, then I guarantee you this was the way to do it. The plot points that they hit circle back from the original days of Bond all the way to Daniel Craig's days ago. And that's why I think if this is the way they wanted to walk out, this would be the perfect way to do so. They let him go out like the man he was supposed to be. Not the overpowerful uber Bond that he is, but the Bond that they want him to be.
They never made him an uber Bond, man. The guy was just ripped. For every single movie that he was Bond, he was ripped. For this one, he didn't even take his shirt off, so for all we know, he could have been Flabby Bond. FB, Flabby Bond.
Now again, with the suits he wore in this flick, we all knew that he was cut. Those suits were on point. So we cannot say that he was flabby Bond.
Okay, but just because he was wearing Beetle-esque, tight-fitting, good-looking, amazingly sculpted and perfectly tailored suits does not mean that we got to see the Bond that we've seen in other films. Now, Daniel Craig is known for being that Bond. They revitalized the franchise. They revitalized the character with Daniel Craig. They made him a badass. They made him fight dirty, no longer fighting like this.
I'll give JC that. I'll give JC that.
So
they
didn't exactly. So they didn't make him this, guys. They made him just an old school has-been that could not keep up with one thug, who, by the way, was killed in the most ridiculous, predictable way, and only had one line. And he was a thug, and he was hardcore because he had long thumbnails, guys. Now, with that being said, let me take it back a little bit. Batista, you were awesome at wrestling, you're an awesome character there, and you were an awesome character here, as well as the film Guardians of the Galaxy. You did a great job in that. However, I think they could have done more with you, man. I honestly think they could have done more. Now, the honor is there of being a Bond villain in the first place, but still, Batista, they could have done more.
Again, as much as I don't want to admit this, I actually do agree with JC on this point. Batista, you were used horribly well. The idea of you in this movie was perfect. You are that perfect thug. Unstoppable, large, hulking. You are that thug. But the one line? Guys.
What was that? Writers for a Bond film. Now, we also want to touch on the fact that the bad guy wasn't really bad guy-esque. They didn't make him terrible. They didn't, I mean, it was really not, I didn't feel like this guy was like evil, the personification of evil, you know what I mean? Like, they built him up so hardcore just to let us down. Why did they do that? Why did you guys do that, writers? It makes no sense to make a guy who's in the shadows come out of the shadows and be like, hey, I'm your neighbor.
Well, this bad guy, in my eyes, was perfect for this whole setup. He filled the role that he needed to fill. He played the line, and the plot followed through with it. JC doesn't believe on that because, again, JC is uber Bond.
Guys, this was a Bond film. No matter what we want to say, no matter what you want to think, and no matter what anybody else wants to think, this is a Bond film. You gotta bring Bond. We're probably going to get a different Bond, and I'm sorry, but the ending to this film, I was not happy with. Now, we're not going to do some spoilers here, but what we do want to say is that we were not, or I was not, very happy and or convinced that that should have been the ending to this film.
This movie left a lot of holes, and I did like the fact that it left the holes because it leaves it so that you have more room to speculate on what's coming next.
Yes.
Because you know the Bond line is not ended.
But you don't want to speculate.
You know, as a fan of Bond, you always want to be left wanting more, and the movie did just that.
Now, guys, with that being said, we've got some pretty interesting releases for this weekend coming up.
The first one is the 33, starring
33 people.
One being Lou Diamond Phillips.
Another being Antonio Banderas.
And the list goes on.
And on.
And on.
Now, guys, beyond that, we've got By the Sea, which was written by Angelina Jolie Pitt.
Also directed by her as well. And it's starring her and her husband, Brad Pitt.
Now, guys, the third movie that we're going to mention is our Pick of the Week.
Pick of the Week.
Pick of the Week. And that movie's called
Love the Coopers.
That's right, starring Amanda Seyfried, Marissa Tomei, John Goodman,
Ed Helms, Diane Keaton, and of course the gorgeous Olivia Wilde.
That's right, guys. If you're looking for a movie full of holiday fun, check it out.
Yeah, this movie's going to give you all the holiday fixing and maybe even cut a turkey or two.
Why is it always about?
Yo, are you not hungry right now? Okay, well, I'm sorry.
With that being said, guys, once again, make sure that you comment below. Let us know what you thought about the movie Spectre. If you watched it, if you did not watch it, let us know what it is that you're expecting out of it, and let us know whether this film review actually helped you out or not, which we know that it did.
Yes, it did.
And also, make sure that you comment on the movies that are coming up this weekend. The movies that we're letting you know that are going to be out there, and our Pick of the Week. Don't forget about that. Once again, I'm JC.
And I'm Jay. Dare to dream big
or go home.
Peace out.